Hey everybody, welcome back. Marcus Graves back again with another reaction to Death Note, this time to episode 5, Tactics. Let's get on into it. I am feeling this theme song. I do like it. I mean, not like you all couldn't tell, but yeah. Yeah, that'll invite too many questions. Oh, so you will just let him go. Makes sense. バスジャック?
その犯人死んだの?
多分な。見届ける暇はなかった。
Why is she acting so suspect?
そこで犯罪者がおそらく死んだ。それって
なあ、君は確かに優秀な FBI 捜査官だった。もう君は捜査官じゃないんだ。危険な行動は取らない。
Her interest has already been piqued.
昼間突き止めた捜査官の名前を書くってわけか。
いや、彼の名前を書くのは一緒。
Oh, okay, I guess he is. Damn, man. Like, I feel bad for the guy though, like, he seems like a good dude.
後から名前を書き込めばその通り。
俺も知らないことを。
So a death with no focus until he writes it.
まさか。しかしこの声、どこかで。キラだという証拠を見せます。今、あなたから見える喫茶店、ここで働いているメガネをかけた男を殺します。
What the fuck did he do?
しかしあの男は婦女暴行を数件繰り返して、
Okay.
証拠不十分で最もあなたにとってはここにいる人たちよりも自分の大切な人の命を奪われる方が。まさか彼女。
Not until just now.
あなたのことは調べました。
No, well, maybe he did, yeah. He does love doing his research.
その捜査官のうちメンバー全員を把握しているあなたの直接の上司の名前を一番上の穴に書いてください。
He wants the names. He'll figure out the photos later.
もうすぐあなたの上司からファイルが送られてきます。日本に入った FBI 全員の顔と名前の入ったファイルです。キラ、お前は一体。
Damn, man.
さよなら、レイ・ペンバー。 レイ・ペンバーが名前を記入した。
Fuck you, Raito.
彼は知らず知らずのうちに
Wow.
自分の仲間を殺したことになる。
Oh, shit. He looked at the... He looked at the faces, so he... Oh, fuck. Is possessed by a god of death, not just joined with, a possessed by a god of death until they die? Ryuku just made it sound like he would be with him until he died.
我々 FBI は日本での捜査を打ち切る。
Hmm.
局長からです。それよりキラは FBI も殺したってことだろう。自分に立てつく者は犯罪者。
Yeah. Now he will.
辞めていく部下も多い。
お父さんもやめなよ。お父さんが。
Would you kill your father? I believe he would.
悪に屈してはならない。
あなた。
だよ、父さん。僕は父さんを誇りに思う。もしものことがあったら、必ず僕がキラを死刑に送る。
だとすれば、このバスを利用できる沿線に。
She's good. Former agent herself.
もし私たちと力を合わせ、キラを捕まえる気持ちがある。
You gotta give us something.
もここへ来てくれないか。
Quid pro quo.
私は先ほど
I changed my mind. Won't say it just in case somebody's listening.
キラあえて現時点でのお互いまでイーブンで縮まっていると考えよう。私は初めてエルとして人前に姿を現そう。もしお前がこのことを知ることができたなら、必ずお前は接近してくる。望むところだ。
Yep, they're performing gambits at going back to my chess metaphor. They're performing gambits, big moves, sometimes steps back in order to get forward, sacrificing a lot, or more than they previously would. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content, please consider heading on over to my Patreon page and becoming a patron. Not only will you be helping to support me and the channel, you'll also be gaining access to exclusive content and benefits, such as early access to my Patreon Discord server, full reactions, and many other things. So, if you are so inclined, please head on down to the pinned comment below, head on over to Patreon, and become a patron. So, when Ruaito first got the Death Note, he was curious of it, he was interested in it, he's like, man, I could be a god, I can do this and the other. And we're starting to see how creative he can become with it. We saw how detailed he can be with it last episode with, you know, leaving behind clues and dying messages and things of that nature, and then finally mapping out exactly how the bus hijacking was going to go. And here we're starting to see how creative he can get with it. The fact that he can write a death, but the death has no meaning, no purpose until a name is attached to it. So you just write the death, you know what you're going to do, but I'm going to leave the name open. I'm going to leave it blank for when the time comes. And to be able to get Raye to sign their own deaths, so because he's the one writing it, he sees their faces, he knows what he's going for, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is creative as shit, you know. But at the same time, now you have Raito, who, as I said before, you know, it was always a thing of absolute power corrupts absolutely. The fact that you have this power now, you wanted to go to criminals, but your real intention is to become a god. Your real intention, well, I shouldn't say his real intention was to become a god. His real intention was to disrupt the status quo of this world that he had become disinterested in, or disillusioned by. And when you realize what power he could have, he's like, oh, ooh, okay, I see what's going on here. So he's had the intention of killing others that are not criminals, particularly Ed. And I believe, yes, now this is the first time that he has taken the life of people who don't deserve it, or people who are not criminals. Now, they introduced Raye's fiance, who, if you guys notice, those who watch my full reactions will probably notice that when the intro music is playing, I'm not normally looking at it. I've caught glimpses here and there, but I'm not normally looking at the opening, because the opening shows things that are going to come. Not in a spoilery way, really, but it does give hints. In this one, when I was watching it, I saw the woman holding a body. And when she came up on the screen, I'm like, well, this is probably going to happen. So I figured that she's probably going to become Raito's foil, for lack of a better. I don't want to necessarily call her his antagonist. Is that for right now. But she may be the wild card, the one that he's not looking at, that will end up being his undoing. And you saw immediately she has the investigative mind and even the poise, because her fiance, I was about to say her husband, her fiance just died, and she did mourn, she did cry. Her first thought is to now, okay, on to investigation. If it happened this close, it must have been because he was on the bus. And it's like, oh, okay, girl, okay. And he's like, oh, she's ready. She is going after it. See, now you're introducing family, the family of Raye. You're introducing the family of Raito into this situation now, because I said during the reaction, his father's not going to give up. He's going after anybody who's apprehending him that will stop him from becoming a god. That's his father. What's going to happen there? And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Raito will kill his father if it comes to it. Because out of all the things that has happened, I don't want to say this lightly, and by lightly I mean it's a fictional story. I don't mean it in the sense of like a grand, burdensome, heavy thing in terms of real world thing. No, what I mean by lightly is I'm trying to go back in my mind and think to myself, is he a sociopath? And I'm trying to think of his tendencies and his demeanor and everything towards the people in his life. And I think it may be safe to say now that Raito is a sociopath. The one that can perform in society the way that society intends people to perform, but has no affect and has no empathy. Raito knows how to perform, but we've never seen, especially as his indulgence in the Death Note has grown, the more disassociated and the more disconnected he becomes from everyone else. The more he self-deifies, the more he dismisses anyone else. And don't get it, because also remember, don't get it twisted when I say indulgence. He is indulging in the Death Note. He is indulging in the death. He is having fun with them. How creative he's gotten with it is a bit of an indicator of how much fun he's having. Even Ryuka says experiments. Like, I didn't even know that you could do some of this stuff. I didn't even know you could do some of this. So even he is taking it farther than even the Shinigami have taken it before. And he's toying with Er now. He's making bold moves, forcing Er to make a bold move back. And once again, going back to that chess game, I'm going to sacrifice something, sacrifice more than I usually have before, in order to make you make a bold move that will be a mistake. Gambits. Now my question is, this is episode 5. This is a 37 episode series. How in the world is this going to be sustained for many more episodes? I'm obviously going to be finding out very soon, but I'm like, man, it feels like it's only 5 episodes in. It feels like the shit should almost be over by now. It's like, yo, what other moves can y'all do? Apparently many more. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other content that I have on there. My short films, Assassin of the Flame and Yin and Yang, reactions, breakdowns, essays, all that good stuff that's on there. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.